Hey, what's up? EZOVERDOSE here. This is my UI 2.0 video, and I'm just going to briefly go over some of my UI add-ons. I'm not going to get into all the stuff that you can't see. And there's going to be a follow-up video with this one for anyone that likes the setup. I will upload my saved variables, which are the files that hold the settings for each add-on, and I will make a quick video on how to install them. So basically everything you see here will already be set up the same way it's set up in this video, and you don't have to configure anything. So you might be asking yourself, do I need to redo my UI? Well, let's take a look at these pictures. If your UI looks like any of these, then yeah, you need to redo your UI, like ASAP, because these are some of the absolute worst UIs that I have ever seen. And as you can see, if the objective of having add-ons was to clusterfuck your screen up and cover your character with battle text and whatnot, then these guys beat the game. But that's not the objective of the game. That's not what add-ons are meant for. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I needed a little moment of silence for that. So this is what's going on my UI. I've basically boxed everything off and kind of either connected it or labeled it. What you're seeing is mainly LVUI, and then the DBM timers. Everybody's got those. They're skinned with LVUI, and then we have TipTac, which LVUI has its own tooltip replacement, but I didn't like it, so I'm using TipTac. Then we got SCADA damage meter. That's kind of integrated into the LVUI look, to where it looks like it matches the chat box. That took quite a while to do, actually. It's actually transparent on the LVUI chat backdrop. And then we have the raid frames and the bars as LVUI. And then tell me when is optional. And then the mixed scrolling battle text is to have it separated incoming heals and incoming damage on either side of the raid frames, to where it's just not over your character. And then I used the default Blizzard scrolling battle text that is, it's a different font, I think. I'm not totally sure on that, but that LVUI controls the font of the battle text. So that's basically all there is to it. Here's what it looks like with the extra action button open. Here's what the party frames would look like if you're in a 5-man. Here's what the 10-man frames would look like. And the 25, you've already seen that. And then there's what a 40-man group would look like. Here's what the config mode looks like. This basically shows everything that's going on the screen. So we'll just start top left and go to top right, and then swoop around in a clockwise motion. Micro bar, that is not used. GM ticket frame, usually not used. The pet frame is above the player frame. The class bar is like whenever you pull out, I'm on my DK, when you pull out the ghoul or whatever and it lasts a minute. Class bar is also for totems. Not really sure what else it's used for. The two skinny bars that are behind the target frame are for rep and for XP. They are hidden unless moused over. The cast bar for the target and the player are centered in between the target and the player frame. Then we have the target frame. Then we have the player buffs, and the player buffs are squeezed down just a little bit from default. That way they don't clip into the target frame. Player debuffs under that, both in like the semi-default position from the Blizzard UI. The mini map, that's default. And then we got the MA frame, that's your main assist, and then we got the main tank frame. And underneath the MA frame is the BattleNet toast, like the toast for like your BattleNet friend comes online. I have that disabled, so I don't ever see that. But even if you didn't have it disabled, it most likely would not conflict with that frame, because that frame only shows up like if you're in a raid where main assist is actually set. And most of the time main assist isn't set, only main tank is set. And then the watch frame, I'm not really sure what the watch frame does. I've never used it, never seen it. And then we have the boss frame and the arena frames. I do not have the arena frames set up. The boss frames are set up. They're set up to where they grow from the top to the bottom. That way they don't grow from the bottom to the top and they overlap into the other stuff. The pet bar is beside that on the right side, vertical, and it is transparent unless moused over. And then we have the stance bar that is the same way. It's transparent unless moused over, and right above the damage meter. And then you got your spell bars, and you got your raid frames, your alternate power. You get the boss button and the focus frame and focus cast bar are all clustered to the right side of the player, symmetrical with the DBM timers that swoop down to the left side of the player. And then we have your chat box on the bottom left. Bar 4, 5, and 6 I do not use. Those are disabled, so they're just kind of sitting there. The vehicle seat frame, that one's kind of useful. The raid pet frame is disabled. I do not use that, so that's off. And then your loot frame and your loot alert frame. So one is like your rolls, and one just tells you what loot you got. So that's the basic setup of the UI. So if you like this setup and you want to give it a shot, make sure you check the description and click that link, and it'll shoot you over to the other video where I will show you how to install the files to make your UI look like this without any configuring. Alright, thanks for watching. Peace.